Good morning, everyone. So Cassiar Gold, we are a Canadian gold explorer. Just bring your attention to the cautionary forward-looking statements and disclaimer. So Cassiar Gold, we control two very important districts. Our flagship asset, the Cassiar Gold Project, is located in northern BC along Highway 37, 200 kilometers north along Highway 37 from Red Chris, and roughly 80 kilometers south from Silvertip, which is owned by Kerr Mining, Red Chris being majority owned by Newcrest. We actually also own a very significant second district, the Sheep Creek district, located in central BC. That district has seen production of nearly 750,000 ounces at nearly 15 grams per ton until 1951, so it's a highly prospective project. But as of right now, 100% of our focus is at the Cassiar Gold Project. Very quickly, one of our biggest assets is our team. Myself, I'm Portuguese, born and raised, our career in banking, did move over to capital markets and then invested in advising the precious metal space from juniors to mid-tiers to majors. That's how I met Steve Ledwin, who is our chairman and our largest individual shareholder with 5% of the company's shares. At the time, he was the president and CEO of IM Gold, a significant mid-tier gold producer from 2010 to 2020. We also have Steve Robertson on our team. He's a geo. He started the initial exploration campaigns at Silvertip, at Red Chris as well, so very relevant experience. And in 2016, he won the Schultz Award for excellence in mine development for his work at Red Chris. We also have Chris Stewart on our board. He's a mining engineer and turnaround specialist. He's a former president and COO of McEwen. He's now the CEO of Minto Copper, a copper producer out of the Yukon. And then we have the great Kerwin. Doug was actually the geo that did the due diligence for me 2 years ago before I joined as CEO. I asked Doug, what's wrong with these million ounces? Is there any red flag here? Doug came back to me saying nothing wrong with that million ounces. In fact, I see a potential for 2 or 3 million ounces on this open pit, but forget about that. A few kilometers to the south, we have the Cassiar South area, which is completely underexplored. These high-grade veins, and by the way, this looks a lot like Fosterville, which is a big mention for someone like Doug to do. Doug also brought in the foremost structural geologists in the world in orogenic gold systems, David Rees, to our team. That's a big asset to our team, and also a big endorsement to the project as well. We also have James Maxwell on our technical advisory team. And as our new VP of Exploration, Vernon Shein, who is next to me, also joined the team in February. Vernon has helped define reserves of nearly 8 million ounces. 5 million of those ounces are now into production. So his expertise is really taking advanced assets, taken to find the edges of the deposit, taken to economic studies, and eventually to production. So this is exactly what we need as a company. Very quickly, in terms of our cap structure, we have roughly 67 million shares outstanding at 74 cents. That's roughly 60 million market cap. We have 4 million in the bank. We're in the middle of the bought deal financing led by Raymond James and Red Cloud, as well as BMO. So that's basically 10 million plus 15% over allotment option. We're looking forward to closing on that relatively soon. We also have analyst coverage from Kobe Kushner from Red Cloud. We have very high insider ownership, 22%, and very good institutional support at 25%. You'll probably recognize some of the names: EMA, Larry Leopard, Crascat Capital, Commodity Discovery Fund, Terra Capital out of Australia, Sprott, just to name a few. Very important as well, community and sustainability. So we have one First Nation partner, the Cascadena First Nation. We have an excellent relationship there. We try to hire local as much as possible, local contractors as much as possible. We're in constant contact with our community and First Nation partners, and we have an excellent relationship there. We're actually currently negotiating exploration agreements, and it's very important to have such a good relationship. Just zooming into our flagship property, our Cassiar Gold Property is 59,000 hectares. We control an entire district. It's 100% owned. You have there Highway 37 coming from the south and bisecting our property in half, separating Cassiar North from Cassiar South. Cassiar North is comprised mostly of bulk-tonnage, near-surface, open-pitable targets like our new Taurus mineral resource estimate there, which has increased to 1.4 million ounces, and it remains open laterally and the depth as well is internal to that pit shell. And then at Cassiar South is comprised mostly of high-grade underground vein systems that are on average 2 to 3 meter thick and run on 10, 20 or more grams per ton, so very, very high grade. Very quickly, we also have a very significant infrastructure. We have a fully owned and permitted mill on site. You can see there on the bottom left, 300 ton per day. That mill was designed and processed most of the high grade coming from Cassiar South, from the high grade vein systems, 315,000 ounces at recovered grade, reported grade of over 15 grams per ton, so very, very high grade. We're also very lucky, and this is extremely important, we also have mine permits in and around the Taurus bulk-tonnage deposit, as well as the Cassiar South. The Taurus bulk-tonnage deposit permits are in green, and the Cassiar South area permits are in orange. That together with that mill puts us years ahead and millions of dollars in development timelines. We also have over 25 kilometers of underground workings that connect all the infrastructure that we have at surface to the underground veins, most of which are actually open along strike, and as Doug mentioned, with a lot of room for exploration upside. So very quickly, I'll just hand it over to Vern to talk about our new mineral resource estimate and some of the exploration potential that we have here.
Thank you, Marco. We've just issued a new 43-101 update report. You can see the resource numbers there. It's a substantial increase from our previous resource from 2019, and the new resource is pits constrained. You can see that the footprint of the block model that is generating the new resource is there on the left. And on the right, you can see a longitudinal section through the deposit looking north. And you can see that the data, the block model itself is data constrained, meaning that the majority of the block model is just defined by the drill holes, and we think that there's great expansion potential outside of the block model by stepping out. The other area that we can look for expansion of the current block model is at depth. So we'll be looking down dip from the Taurus West deposit. That's that north-south arm that's going north-south, and it dips to the east, steeply to the east, and also there's a southeast plunge to it as well, which we will be chasing with our drill program this year. You can see that the highest grade portions of the deposit are right down there near the bottom of the pit, and we'll be chasing that and trying to steepen that. This is just some of the details on the resource. On the resource, you can see the outline of the block model, and you can see our drill hole traces. And the takeaway from this slide is that you can see how the block model is constrained basically by drilling. And so our next job is to step out with larger step outs, 100 meter, 200 meters in plan in XY, so that we'll be looking at expansion of the Taurus resource. This is a drill plan that shows the yellow block model that we currently have, and the polygons that you can see around it are areas that we're going to be drilling here in 2022. So we have 10,000 meters of drilling planned at Taurus. A lot of it is going to be in these 100 to 200, 250 meter step outs, and we'll be looking to expand the deposit that way. The mineralization styles at Cassiar at Taurus are controlled dominantly by sheeted quartz veinlets and pyrite. It's also accompanied by the brown iron carbonate alteration that you can see, which is an advantage for us because it allows us, when we're drilling, before we get our assays, to have an idea of whether or not we've hit with these things with the current drill holes. And that will allow us to think of or decide whether we're going to do undercuts, whether we're going to continue stepping out and on growing the deposit. So that's a big advantage for us at Taurus. At Cassiar South, it has a history of high grade gold mining with mined gold grades in the 15 to 20 gram range, and we'll be looking at drilling for extensions on these veins along strike, down dip, and as well we'll be looking for periodic repetitions in covered areas that have not previously been drill tested, and that work is that compilation work and drill design is currently underway. The Cassiar South or our classic orogenic veins, they occur within intercalated basaltic andesites and ultramafic rocks, which are then altered to the listwanites, which are basically fuscites. So we're going to be looking at finding stratigraphic repetitions of these favorable sequences with our 2022 drill program as well. So right now we can see that our previous drilling in the area was testing strike extensions. The blue dashes that you see there are models that we have of periodic repetitions within this stratigraphy, and we'll be looking at testing that with diamond drilling in the 2022 program. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you, Vern. So very quickly, just to recap in terms of catalysts, we have still 13 holes pending from that Cassiar South drill targets. Just as a reminder, we had a couple of really high-grade intercepts there. So that's roughly just over 4,000 meters worth of drilling that we're going to be looking to announce over imminently. We also are about to start on the 1st of June. We have 3 drill rigs secured. We have 20,000 meter drill program that we're going to split in the following way. 50% of that drilling, roughly 10,000 meters, are going to go towards most of it aggressive step outs at Taurus, 50, 100, 200 meter step outs to see if we can find the edges of the deposits, which we hopefully won't be able to, which means that deposit is a lot bigger than previously thought. In addition to that, we're looking to allocate 5,000 meters to continue to chase the known high-grade vein systems at Cassiar South along strike, as well as looking for those parallel and stacked vein systems. And then we're looking to allocate roughly 25% of the drilling, roughly 5,000 meters, to some outside regional targets that are very exciting. We have a very target-rich environment. These are just a few examples of areas that have basically little to no drilling. A good example is Wings Canyon. There actually we have 128 meters at 0.56 grams per ton coming from surface, beautiful quartz veins, just 600 meters to the southeast of Taurus. The whole thing might connect, and if it does, then the footprint there increases significantly, as well as the number of ounces. Another example is Lucky, where we have just 2 or 3 kilometers to the northeast and along strike the main structures, and it builds beautiful quartz veins on the right there next to the geo. The whole system might even connect, and if it does, then the footprint multiplies by a significant number. And Lucky is another example as well, the picture in the middle where we have the geo there with subcropping veins right at surface with Taurus at the bottom of the valley there. This is truly a massive system potentially, so we're going to get the truth machine out there and see if we can at least get some satellite deposits, or hopefully the whole thing might connect, in which case the comparisons with Fosterville start to make a lot of sense. So to just recap, we have a significant resource with a lot of exploration potential in a safe and conducive mining jurisdiction with lots of infrastructure that puts us years and millions of dollars ahead. We have a great team. We're a great partnership with the community and committed to sustainability, and we're very attractively valued for what we have in our potential. So thank you very much for listening, and if you want to know more, come visit our booth or visit us at www.cassiargold.com. Thank you very much.